Can Roger Federer get back to number 1? A few weeks ago, it would have seemed unfathomable to ask, a pipe dream by Roger Federer junkies living in the past. Today it's a realistic possibility. Can Roger Federer, at 35 years old, actually make it back to number 1? Oh, how the landscape can change. Late last June, Novak Djokovic was such a dominant force in tennis that he nearly doubled the rankings points of world number 2 Andy Murray. He was halfway to a Grand Slam and a seemingly unstoppable force. Meanwhile, Federer was about to call it quits on a season, the result of an injury first suffered in the most dad-like way ever, giving his twins a bath. At 34 and facing a long recovery, it was finally safe to legitimately wonder what people have for almost 8 years. Is the end near? Fast forward to today. Djokovic's game is in shambles and his head appears to be even worse. Andy Murray has had a rough start to 2017, but no one's suggesting it's anything more than early season rust. Meanwhile, Federer won a surprise Australian Open title, his first slam in 5 years, and just emerged from the most stacked quarter brackets of the decade to win at Indian Wells. 2 months into the season, there's a familiar name atop the rankings: Federer, Roger, SUI. No, not the official ones, the rankings Federer has topped for a record 302 weeks. Federer's only number 6 in those, which is still stunning given that he entered Melbourne ranked number 17. But the 2017 rankings, the race to London as it's called, which only accrue points from this calendar year, are topped by Federer and it's not particularly close. The regular ATP rankings work on a rolling system that resets every week, only a player's points from the last 52 weeks are used. Federer earned 2,000 points for his Australian Open win, for instance, but only jumped 1,280 points in the rankings, as the 720 points he earned from making the 2016 semi-finals were wiped from the books. At Indian Wells, it was a complete positive. Federer gained 1,000 points with his victory as he hadn't played the tournament the preceding year. That's going to be the case most of the year. With only 4 tournaments to defend and none after Wimbledon, Federer has just 1,100 points that'll come off his total with the chance to gain thousands. It puts number 1 in play. Barring an unexpected tear through the spring and summer, Federer's best chance to get to number 1 will come late in the year, when he gets closer to Djokovic and Murray in terms of tournament played. At the end of 2017, the only points used in the rankings will be from those 2017 events, which is what makes the race points a useful bellwether, at best. Remember though, in mid-June of last year, it was just about unthinkable that Djokovic wouldn't finish number 1, and possibly by a record margin. He was passed after the US Open. Thus, no one should lean too heavily on the results of 2 big tournaments and some other small ones. There's far more tennis to be played. All that being said, it's hard not to start doing the math. Here's the ATP rankings for 2017 points only. Federer almost has double the points of Nadal. And he's a full Grand Slam win ahead of both Murray and Djokovic. And he's done all of that in just 3 tournaments. All the other top players have 4. What would it take for Federer to get to number 1, then? Not much. Just a strong clay court season, deep runs at 2 of the 3 remaining Grand Slams, semi-finals and beyond, a healthy season and no player going crazy and winning 3 slams in a row on top of a handful of 1000s events. You know, simple.